Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you all. Hope you're well. Hope you're all tickety-boo. Here we are. Another stream heading your way. Final checks, and then we shall be with you.
You have been granted passage among our stars.
This is a sacred service. Join our fleet's torchbearers.
It is the human who defiles our pilgrimage.
No one has ever ventured this far.
If the ancients turned their eye back to us, well, what could a beetle do against a hurricane?
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Are you about to do something unwise? Absolutely.
What have you done to me?
Hello, hello. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you all. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all tickety-boo. How are you all? It's been a month already since we last spoke. Oh, how time flies, how time flies. But here we are, back with our stream for September. We've got a few things to talk about. I know there was a question that I'm just going to address. I saw it from Flory. So today, Gary tells us the new project. No. I really have to put that out there. We are not talking about anything yet. Like I said, we've got a little while before that happens, but give us time, allow us to cook, and then we'll talk about things further down the line, but nothing yet. But what I do want to talk about first is something that we've had fairly recently. Let me just plonk that in there. I'm just going to remove my camera out of the scene. We've been running a little poll over the last week or so, and the question that I asked everybody on Discord, on YouTube, on Reddit was, out of these 4 locations, you can see the top left is Nefty's, Rhodia 2, top right, bottom right is Siren Sea, and bottom left is Palemon's Wound. If some of you didn't vote in there, I'm going to ask you on the stream, where would you like to have a base? If you could pick somewhere just to plonk down a base, where would you put it? Where would you go? Where would you have your home base if you could choose? I'll reveal the results of the poll later on. But just for those of you that are watching the live stream, do you think about this? Because I'll be asking the question later to see what you all think as well. So let's have a look at that in a little while. And then let me just bring... Hopefully the game capture will kick in any second. Is it going to do it? Is it going to do it? Come on, game capture. Where are you? I love it when the game doesn't capture. Let's just try switcheroo. Is it going to come? Do you know what I'm going to have to do? I'm just going to restart the game. How rude. The game is not getting captured. It was there a second ago and now it's disappeared. That's just rude. That's just rude. But while we're waiting for that to come back up, how are you all? Hope you've been well. Hope you've been typically boo. Hope you've been fabulous. Hope you've been doing some wonderful stuff. Whatever you've been up to. There we go. Look, it's there this time. Oh, game, you do tease. You do tease. So, speaking of tease, that was a good little segue. I like that, especially the inadvertent ones. Yes, we're going to be having a little interview. I say a little interview. It's going to be about an hour long, where we're going to be speaking to Tease, who is our senior programmer here at Rockfish Games. We had a good chat the other day. A nice little recording session that we had with him. And we're going to be talking about all things programming, Rockfish, previous life, etc. So yeah, if you're interested in that, we've got that coming up as well. We're going to be diving into our usual hard gameplay. I've got to go see Mr. Blakemore. That's very, very soon, because he's been a bit of a pest in the DMZ. So we're going to crack on with that. We've also got RFG Top Pic, as always. You guys have knocked it out of the park, and we've got an interesting result this week, a very interesting, and I'll reveal why at the end. But very interesting result. And yeah, we're going to have a look at another video from one of our esteemed pilots who knocks it out of the park consistently and is an absolute wizard. So we'll have a look at that at the end, and then a few other things to tie up as well, some information for you all as well. But if you do have any questions, I know Lee put it into the chat. If you do have any questions, Lee is with us. Do throw them into the chat. And yeah, we'll try and answer those. Yes, it is a pre-record. We're doing that at the moment just for convenience, because not everybody from the team is able to make Friday nights, because it's quite late for them. You know, it's like 8 p.m. In Germany. So yeah. By the way, Frog, and it is going to be something I do mention in the video, if you do have any questions, you can send me a DM and I will follow up with Tease. He's happy to answer them. He was going to actually be here, but unfortunately he's not able to. So yeah, do follow up with me as well. So and I'll try and get Tease to answer them for you. And that's the same for everybody. If you do have a question, then let us know. But if you've got anything about EVERSPACE 2 that you'd like to know, throw the questions into chat and we'll try and answer them. So let's do... There we go. Crash and burn. That's where we're up to. And there we go. But no, it's nice to see you all. I hope you're all well. Hope you all had a good week. Whatever you've been up to. Whatever you've been playing. Right, so crash and burn. There you can see. Over there is something we need to take a look at, because that is where a certain Mr. Blakemore is hiding. So what we're going to do is just go have a look at the mission. Yeah, level 23, I'm level 24. So Blakemore has discovered the exact location of the comet. Fallon Pango has helped me out find Ghost, and we need to kind of go and have a word with Mr. Blakemore. So I think we should head there, I think that'll be good. So let's head to Vesna. Where actually are we sat at the moment? Okay. There. Okay. Let's just jump out of this system. Let's get out of it. We don't want to do the rips in space just yet. Eee, off we go. Yeah, we just want to have a word. That's all it is. Just want to have a word with him. Nothing, you know, nothing special. Just, hey, how you doing? You know, like your hair, that kind of conversation. Nothing like WTF, are you trying to, you know, start a war or anything? But just like, we need to have a word with him. Right, let's zippity. Let's get going. And a wild Michael, a wonderful CEO, has joined us in the chat. So if you've got any questions that I can't answer, I'm sure Michael might be able to answer them. You know, or Lee as well. Oh, hello. Let's avoid the the missile launchers. You know, just throw a shoot at me. Ding, ding, ding. Tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to dock and see if we've got anything. Anything that we could buy. We've got anything. Let's see. Always good as we're going flashing by. But yeah, Michael with us. Thank you very much. Joining us late on a Friday. You don't get many CEOs of a company joining a live stream. I think we're very, very lucky to have him popping in and saying hello. Okay, let's... I don't really know what to... Let's sell... No. Okay, that's slightly better than the calibrated synchro. The difference is the spread and the energy consumption is higher. That is a significant increase in energy. Although, to be fair, I am using a Vindicator, so it's not really on me. So, so what we'll do is we shall... Oh, now I'm confused myself. 10% against armor. See, that's got 10% energy bypass. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with that. It's just not a big enough increase, I think. It's like 10%. Oh, do you know what? We're going to go for it. We're just going to make the executive decision and we're just going to go for it. There we go. Michael has appeared over on YouTube. We're getting some disservice there from the YouTubeites that were just like, oh, he never comes over to see us, you know. There he is. He appears. Oh. Right, let's have a look. Anything at combat drones? Yeah. Booster. Now that's not bad. Just the recharge speed is so slow. Let's get some rockets in there. Actually, no, we'll put them back in. Actually, no, we'll swap back to the original. I always like to keep some rockets just in case. We've got the powerful Nova flak there. Cargo bit. No. Yeah. We'll keep all them. Anything else that we want? What's he got? Anything? Powerful disintegrator. Another Jaeger. Okay, nothing too dramatic. Right, let's get out of here. Let's go. Dimmer over on Twitch just said, I've had EVERSPACE 2 in my library for a while, just started playing, loving it so far. Well, we love the fact that you are loving it. Thanks very much for...
Prime are closing in.
Oh, really?
Intent on dissuading me from helping to broker peace, no doubt.
Yeah, I think that's the case. But yeah, Dimmer, it's so good, and thank you very much for supporting us as we have created what we all think, even though we're slightly biased, a wonderful, wonderful game, and we hope you're enjoying it too all the way through. But everybody else that's supported us for many, many years, we do appreciate that as always. You are part of the community, and we're very, very thankful for having you because it allows us on the team, especially the magicians that are the devs, to create a wonderful, wonderful game. And I get the lucky thing to do, and I get to show it to you all, which is always nice. But yeah. Dreadnought signature there. We're going to have a word with Mr. Blakemore, I think, first before we deal with any of the Dreadnought stuff. But yeah. How many hours? Just as a random question in the chat, how many hours have you got in EVERSPACE 2? Everybody, I'd like to know some numbers. Are we talking the tens, the hundreds? Some people in the thousands. I know there's definitely some 1,000 hours have been thrown into the gaming by some folks. Hello. Oh, you know, how cool is Vesna? How cool! Look at that. At that. I know I'm in the way, but Dimmer's got 22 hours in. I'm liking that. I'm sure we've got some high advances on that. Yeah. I mean, it's a god-awful ship, and I'm not going to put that in the shop, but just look at that. A lot, yeah. Everybody's like, yeah, I've got a few. Just, you know. E2 Moto. That is a significant amount. Well done. 844 hours. That's probably more than I've got, although I've, you know, not all my hours are logged.
I'd be able to help reestablish that encrypted link to our guy on the inside.
That's cool.
Hey, Tammy, you read me?
I've been briefed by the commissioner and I'm standing by. You know what to do?
You know what to do?
We'll tackle the surface fleet first, and then you'll let us into the hangars. And, it's nice to hear your voice again. At least now I can act like myself around you.
We need to act quick.
Quick.
I think security might be onto me. I'm worried they might suspect me after your last visit, and that my movements have been monitored.
I understand. The commissioner will be here shortly, and you'll be in safe hands.
Cool. Right, I'm just going to pause that there because, as I was saying about hours, we got David here to 791 saying 107 hours, and then Wizard Jerry just comes in and just spanks it out of the park. 4,175. Oh, the guy never sleeps. He just doesn't sleep. He's a robot, I'm telling you. He's an android. Right, bring down the shields on the locked target and put the malware on, and they destroy 50% of the turrets as well. So let's do some stuff, shall we? Flory bringing up 713 hours. I mean, that's still an amazing amount. I'm very impressed with that. Very impressed. There we go. Let's get some action in. Cool.
Party time. Fire away. Hey, take it easy. The objective here is to ground the mining fleet, but we don't want to hurt any civilian miners. They've got nothing to do with this.
Indeed.
I'm good with that. You just bring down the shields and I'll do the rest.
Right, I'm just going to check out these turrets over here because that's task's done. Thank you.
I have my suspicions who you're working for.
Really?
You'll find out soon enough.
Hello, Blackball. Yeah. Douchey pants.
They've locked onto me.
Whoops. Hello. Go. Thank you.
Oh, you want to play the hero? But I know you're no better than any mercenary. Name your price.
I will not even entertain the idea.
Wow. Okay, so we've got 37% down on there. That's it. Let's just take this last turret out again. Beep 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 beep. Doink. Another GMB turret there. Eee. Oh, and a container. I know we're on a mission, but I'm just going to open the container. I want the stuff. I just want the stuff. Right, okay. Let's... oh, cow. Damn it. Okay, let's fly over slowly. Right, I just want to regen my power, my energy, because this could get nasty very, very quickly. But the less that's trying to hit me, the better.
You have that Roslyn arrogance, all right. If only I could harness that loyalty and obedience from you also. There's that Roslyn name again. You guys certainly get around.
I can't get into it right now.
Yeah. There we go. Right, I'm just going to take that out. Yeah. Okay, I'm just taking these out because I don't want to get hit by them if I can help. Oh, hello. I'm running out of stuff. Come on. Give me the malware. Can we have the malware, please? There we go. There we go.
Seems to be working. Shame we can only do one at a time, but this is still doable.
Still doable.
It's a cinch. On to the next.
Cool. Right, that's 6 seconds. We'll have that done. I'm gonna just check as soon as I've uploaded this malware. As soon as I can. There we go. Oops. Hello. That is not what I
At least
wanted.
if there's anyone on board, it's a soft landing.
We have detected the activities of a saboteur.
They're onto us. Better hurry this up before they can mobilize.
Cool. Right, I'm just going to check something in my settings because I might have it turned down. Oh, okay. Yeah, music. It's definitely on. I was just double checking. See, not getting attacked by all the wonderful turrets.
It's a good thing the elite squad aren't here.
Hey man, don't be tempting fate by even mentioning their name. That's a jinx.
Well, jinx or not, Blakemore probably has got eyes on us now. We best watch out.
See, Ghost's doing a fine job over there, and I'm not having to get involved over there, which is exactly what you should generally do. Use the tools that are available. I'm not calling Ghost a tool. That's part of it, you know. Right, okay, he did it now.
Yes.
That's done. That. We've got the barge here. There we go. That's one down. Oops, hello. Let's actually take you out. Oop. Yeah. Well, they needed to die, unfortunately. There you go, Malware. You got malwared. It got blown up as well. Oops. Right. Beam laser, we'll get that on flyby. Okay. Let's do that. Can we upload? Yeah, we got that. Marvelous.
That was all of them from what I can see. So now we ransom GMB for the codes to remove the malware, right?
No, that wasn't the plan, actually. But why don't you just transfer me those codes in case we need a bargaining chip?
I don't really see the benefit of this exercise if we're not squeezing them for every credit they got.
The greater good? Hey, I really had no idea you had ulterior motives in all this.
Hello.
Come on, aren't we all in it for the filthy lucre at the end of the day?
This is really not a good time to start arguing about all this. Why don't we just pick up this discussion later?
Hey, you know I'm kidding around, right? Lighten up.
Right, cool. We need to get some wreckage. There we go. Yo.
Do you really believe that this pathetic demonstration will hinder my plans?
Blakemore, you know perfectly well what will happen if you go after that comet.
Who do you think you are to intrude in our affairs? Ordering mining fleet to override safety mechanisms for immediate launch. Yes, sir.
It's all gonna go pear-shaped if we're not careful.
With the disruptions to the mainframes, the ships will be unable to launch with success. They will very likely crash.
Hive, see if you can get me to broadcast directly to the miners' channel so we can warn them.
Their channels are blocked.
Oops.
You just ordered innocents to their deaths. Those miners had nothing to do with the politics involved.
If you
Tell him,
become a
Adam.
pawn, you become part of the game. Once they signed the G&B contract, they signed away their right to exist beyond what I tell them to do. Dude, I really want to kill this guy now.
Nice.
We'll let the commissioner take care of him her way. Right now, we need to concentrate on making sure that fleet stays grounded. And for that, we need to get inside and destroy their equipment.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay, we've got some music now, that's cool. I'm just going to call out Yahoo Crossover on YouTube. I wanted to thank the team for making this gem. I have a total of 340 hours for both EVERSPACE and EVERSPACE 2. And they plan to 100% EVERSPACE 2 this year. Oh, yes. I mean, we know it's kind of a big deal and a lot of hours put into doing 100% in any game. We're just very thankful that people want to dedicate their time to do that. So, Yahoo, thank you very much for that. We hope you enjoy your travels through the DMZ to get that 100%. Always good, always good. I'm just having a look through any of the other chats just to make sure nothing has been missed that I need to take care of, which I don't think it is. Just do that. So just put that there so I can see it again. Marvelous. Marvelous. Right. There we go. Excellent. Right, let's go on a little journey.
Okay, Demi, we've disabled the mining craft. Can you get us in so we can wreck the Viridium mining drills?
Okay.
I've opened the first door for you, but I'm not sure what more I can do. They're on to me. My clearance has been revoked. Looks like my time is up.
We need to get you out of there right away before they get their hands on you. Ghost, can you manage an extraction and bring Tammy safely back to base?
You got it. Tammy, get to the dock ASAP.
Sorry your cover got blown, Tammy.
At least I got to do some damage beforehand. Was the moment I'd been waiting for.
Just take these turrets out because I don't want to get hit.
Gotta get through this other door. There's not much more I'll be able to do.
Whoop. Boink. Go through. Whoop. Nope. Oh, hang on. Hit the brakes. There it is.
I would suggest deploying a drone, since
Deploy
you
the
have
drone.
favored them so much of late.
Well, nothing works better for getting into those unreachable places.
Right. Okay. Can we doink? Timber. Nice. Fly through.
I have to admire your ingenuity to an extent. You're not so different from my Rosalind at all.
Admit it, Blakemore. Seeing your plans go up in smoke must sting a little.
A small setback. All this equipment, miners included, can be replaced in a short time.
In a short time. Apparently. Boop. Boop there. I was like, where's the terminal? I'm blind.
That did the job.
Nice. Right. Don't need to do anything with them. GMB turret, you can go. Oops. Hello. You can go too. Right, and you. Purple. Nice. Boink.
These vents are an obvious flaw in their security setup.
Okay, right, let's whoop. Aha. Okay, I need to see where that went. There, that's good. Follow the. There we go. Nice. Deploy drone again. Let's get through there. Okay.
Okay, now I just need to steer this little guy right into one of those vents down there.
We do. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Whoa. On a vent. Come on. Come on. Open up. You can open up. No. Oh, there we are. Whee! Kaboom! There we go.
Vacate this area at once. Explosion imminent.
Oh, hello.
No need to tell me twice.
That's some shaking and a rocking and a bopping and a... Let's get out of here. Cool. Whee!
I've been following your progress. You've done good, Mr. Roslin.
Nice.
I'm moving in to make a formal arrest.
Cool.
Blakemore's in a bind, but he's not showing it. Let's hope he surrenders without too much fuss.
I've got him just where I want him. Now is the moment to apprehend him while he is at his weakest. It's time for the fleet to exert its authority on this matter. Your aid has been invaluable, Mr. Roslin, but you need to step aside and allow the weight of galactic law to do its work.
Cool.
Well,
crack
see
on.
how this goes down with the locals.
Let's see how this goes on.
Attention, this is Commissioner Hawk of the Colonial Fleet. The GNV leadership is to relinquish its position at once. This is your only warning.
Yeah. She's getting
I had a
feisty.
feeling it was you behind these nuisance incursions all along, Hawk. You are well beyond your jurisdiction and are overstepping your boundaries. Here in the DMZ, I call the shots.
Oscar Blakemore, you are to present yourself at the docking area for immediate arrest.
You have no powers here, and to prove that point, here is my authority to take you into custody.
What's going on? Elites using wormholes? Surprise, surprise. They seem to have received weapon upgrades too. And Ghost is gone with the mainframe disruptor. Oh, this is real bad.
Command your elite units to stand down at once.
If Commissioner falls into Blakemore's hands, nothing will stand in his way.
Oh, it's all getting a bit tense.
All systems are down.
G&B appear to have successfully disabled the Commissioner's cruiser.
Uh-oh.
This is just getting worse. One more hit and I'm done for.
Units, hold your fire. Now, whatever malicious software you hit my mining fleet with surely has reversal codes.
Indeed.
So I'm going to ask you nicely. At first, give me the codes or the Commissioner dies, and then you die.
Don't do it, Adam!
Killing a fleet officer would really be crossing the point of no return, Blakemore. Give up while you can and end this craziness.
You are not in a position to be making demands. Your
Apparently
death
not, no.
will be my pleasure.
Boss, wait. Let me handle this. I believe I can persuade our visitor to hand over the codes. All I need is to jog his memory and help him set his priorities.
If it saves time, do it. I'll keep the Commissioner here as collateral.
After you, brother. Where are you taking me? Somewhere you need to see. Let's just say, back to where it all began.
Oh, back to where it all began. Oh. Lots of story. I like this. I like this. Oh, this is well written. I like this. Yeah. Amazing visuals. We're so lucky. We're so lucky in this game. Flory's like, I want my home base here, please. Ruslan over on Facebook played all summer at EVERSPACE 2 main game and all expansions. What a gem. Oh, that's great to hear. Thank you very much, Ruslan. We're so glad that we get the feedback that people have enjoyed the game, and you know the team are super pumped that everybody enjoys it so much. Yeah, you don't need air conditioning. Might need a heating. I mean, air conditioning can work both ways, but yeah, you might need a little bit of heat.
You remember this place, right? Where we were created. Yeah, unnerving, isn't it? A proper family reunion. Why did you bring me here? I wanted to show you the handiwork of your Commissioner Hawk. She did this. Shutting down cloning facilities was a fleet directive. We are an embarrassment to keep concealed from the homeworlds. But you know that. Hawk has been using that as leverage against you, and playing you for a fool. You've been working the wrong side. You've forgotten where we belong. Our future is in the Beltigrades, and with GNB. You obviously have no understanding of what's at stake here. You can't touch the comet.
Don't touch the comet.
Millions will die. Once we have the Viridium, we can handle the Okar. I wouldn't be so sure of that. With enough of their sacred resources, we can match Okar technology. That wormhole tech was just a taste. Blakemore is a visionary. Under his leadership, the Beltigrades can be its own entity. I don't think that would serve anyone but himself.
Indeed.
Do you want to waste your existence in obscurity? I know you, as well as I know myself. You want to be a part of this. It's in our DNA. But at what cost? We are the perfect vessels for a new era, and together we could achieve marvelous things. Being clones doesn't make us genetically superior. We might share the same DNA, but we're really nothing alike at all. It's disappointing to find you so unreceptive. We're the last, you know. All our brothers gone, dead. We could have made the perfect team. Is this how you do your bargaining? I really don't need you, you know. The virus you uploaded is only a minor setback. Let me spell this out for you. I will dismantle the life you have built, your pathetic den, and the degenerates you collected within it. Unless you hand over the codes. Let's make it easier for all of us. Don't mess with my friends!
That's a little bit on the cool side out there. Just a little bit on the cool side. And Evil Adam is not happy about that at all. Definitely not happy. He's quite grumpy about it.
The ship's damage is critical. I strongly advise that you use the nearby repair bay.
Are you telling me this bay is still operational?
That seems to be the case.
Cool. Let's have a little look around here. What a great looking game. What a great looking game. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Even with a very dodgy vindicator that Lee chose the colour scheme for. Let's dock. Let's get. There's a little drone doing some repairs.
Repairs complete. Let's get the hell out of here while we still can.
It appears that your clone counterpart has extricated himself from his predicament and could be airborne very soon.
Uh-oh.
That was it. You blew your last chance. I may as well leave you here to rot. It's parsecs from the heart of the DMZ, and without my wormhole tech, you're as good as buried here. If you ever make it back to Cedo, you'll find nothing but ashes and dust where your base used to be.
Not a nice guy.
Have fun dying slowly in the knowledge that your friends will die before you.
Oh.
Damn it. We better act fast.
You better.
Hive, where are we exactly?
We are currently in the Keone system, which is centered around a neutron star of the same name. The system contains several smaller planetoids and is considered uninhabitable due to the residual radiation from the resident star's relatively recent supernova.
Nice.
Your clone counterpart was correct in his assertion that we may be stuck, as I detect no operational jump gates here. Another means of travel will be necessary.
I was afraid you were going to say that. Carla, do you read me?
How did it go, Nama?
I need your help urgently for getting me out of where I am right now. Are there any locations
so
close to
good.
my position where I could construct a spatial bypass?
No, not at your location. I would need a little more data. Send me some scans from other locations nearby, Toka, so I can analyze them.
Okay. I'll explore the nearby planetoids in order to get you the information you need.
Cool. We'll
Can you put me through to Delia or Ben?
Adam, what's your status?
Fast travel
Was the
point.
mission a success?
Things didn't quite pan out as expected. It seems my clone counterpart knows the base's
Adam's
location.
very good at kind of
and the elite
understating
squad could
things
be
a
headed
little bit.
straight for you, primed to obliterate you. The mining fleet isn't going anywhere for now. But where it all went wrong is when Hawk arrived on the scene to apprehend Blakemore, and the elites appeared out of nowhere. They've been fitted out with some kind of Okar wormhole tech. From what I can gather, that's what their mission to the Byron system was about.
What can we do? I'm not sure this place could withstand an assault.
Mount whatever defenses you can until I get back. Brief the others to make urgent preparations and muster any firepower they can. Ghost made it out with Hawk's mole Tammy, and they'll hopefully get to be with you soon, so you'll have some more help there.
We're in pretty deep, aren't we?
You're in the deep doo-doo, Ben.
Now
You're
more
in
than
deep
ever,
doo-doo.
you need to protect the people we've given a home to. Please. I can't have them die because of me.
If you've got any questions, yeah, we're going to answer some in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to get everything saved up and ready to show you the video. But if you do have any, do hit me up. I just want to, just before I forget, I will save because I've done it before where I forgot to save, but we've got that one saved there. Let's just leave this location and we can get out of here. But it is an amazing location, and like I say, we're very, very lucky that the team have created a wonderful vistas all through the game.
But I don't remember it being out here.
Data unavailable. Most likely a clone carrier left over from the Okar Wars.
Hey, Hive, if you knew each of my earlier iterations, what can you tell me about the particular one I'm up against?
I can recall all of your versions, but to distinguish
Scorpion missiles, beam laser, and some
them
nanobots.
characteristically is beyond my capabilities.
I guess all I really need to know is that now it's just me and him.
Let's just get some of this phasing while we're here. Maybe room not to. There we go. Smiley face. There we go. Yay! Smiley face in the eyes. But yeah, wonderful location this, and yeah, very, very cool, very cool. Let's get out of here. So yeah, if you've got any questions, now is the time to get them dropped into chat, because I'm going to answer the one that we've got. I'll try to answer it the best I can, and then we're going to need to switch over to the interview with Tees very, very shortly. So we've got to search the system for suitable special bypass locations. So here we are in the Keone system. Oh dear, it's all going pear-shaped, isn't it? It's all going pear-shaped. Right, let's head there. I think might be a good a place as any. As we zing across there, I'll try and answer the question from Yahoo Cross over on YouTube. What tips would you give to everyone who wants to get into game dev, game programming, game design in particular? I'm a little lightly on this one. It's not my forte, unfortunately. I've obviously just done the community side. I haven't been involved in the coding, etc. A lot of the team seem to have gone through university and then done kind of internships.
Carla, I've arrived at one of the highlighted locations. How does this look to you?
No, this is not a suitable place. You need to move on.
Yeah, okay.
Damn it. I really don't need these setbacks right now.
There we go. Yeah, we're a bit problematic
visitors
there,
yet?
but
Any
yeah, a lot
updates?
of the team seemingly have gone
Tammy
through,
have
like I say,
arrived.
university,
No sign of any
and
GOP
then
yet, thankfully.
from that point
Eduardo
onwards,
thinks he has
taking
a
an
way of getting the
internship
on-site
and
artillery
then
up
work
and
their
running
way
again.
through.
The turrets.
If
They
you
look
do
beyond
want
repair
to
last
ever
time I inspected
follow
them.
up with a
That
question
sure
like
sounds
that, I
hopeful.
can throw it
There
towards
are
the
reserve
team
turrets under the surface
directly
that
and
could
see
be
if
put
there's
to
anything
use
that we
if
can
we could figure out
ascertain.
how to
Maybe
link
you
a
might get a
power
hint from
supply
the
to
interview
them.
that we've actually got
Seems
with
like you've got the
Tees as
situation
well.
under control.
We need your
Mikhail
shit, Adam.
over
We can't mount a
on
proper defense without you.
Facebook.
I'm working
Cool
on
game
getting
and
back
proud
as
of
soon as I
Rockfish.
can.
Thank you very much. That's great praise indeed. Frogs is asking a question. Are there any clones that survived were made that weren't Adam clones? Were other people even cloned? My understanding is that there wasn't. They literally, it was just Adam's clones or not. Now, unless something is different in the law that I'm not aware of, I'd have to check. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think they are. I think everything is an Adam clone and Adam clone only. I just need to get out of there because that's no good. Right, so that was no good. Let's try a little bit elsewhere. Let's just check on the map. Let's go over there. This is all the cool things. Right, as we head over there, as soon as we get into there, I'm going to save and then we're going to switch over to the video with Tees because that would be... it's a nice long video, so prepare yourselves, get a drink, park your bums and enjoy the video because we do cover quite a bit. We had a really good chat. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Flashback time. That was an interesting flashback. That was cool. That was cool.
Another vision. Patch me through to the dock.
Give me news.
Hey, Delia.
Mikhail Plower over on Facebook. This part looks like Galaxy on Fire, Supernova, Star Rays, Dangerous Place, etc. There's a lot of history. I don't know if you're fully aware of the whole history, but the core team that made Galaxy on Fire 1 and 2 are the same team that have made EVERSPACE 1 and 2.
I'm not sure what I could prescribe. Hang in there, Adam.
Seven Nindo over on Twitch is just asking, is it possible that there'll be any balance changes or adjustments to certain stats or catalyst effects, that sort of thing in the future? No, this is quite important. We're not kind of doing any further development on EVERSPACE 2, so I wouldn't expect to see anything dramatic in that way, shape or form. Especially with changes to statistics on, or as you said, catalyst effects. If we come across something major in terms of bugs or game breaking that should happen, then we'll obviously address that. But the plan isn't really to do much more, I'm afraid, on that one. Bearded Frog is just following up. Is that because Adam was a scientist involved and never got basically past the beta testing phase of such a program before shutting down? That'd be very interesting. I don't actually know if we have the lore of that fully fleshed out, but I can have a look to see if we've got anything along those lines. But we will see. We will see. Anyway, right after that little conversation, I'm just going to save again. So if you have any more questions, please do throw them into chat. We'll try and answer them at the end, but I'm going to switch over to our interview with Tease now. It's about an hour long, so it's a good chat, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking to him. So let's get it on. Enjoy. Welcome along. We've got another wonderful dev interview. This time one that we've been waiting to do for quite a while, and I know some of you have been asking, but we've got the wonderful Tease with us now, who is our senior programmer over at Rockfish Games. Hello, Tease. Welcome along. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Gary. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a while, but I promised to do it, so I need to do it today.
Indeed. Yeah, we got you on eventually. It's just lining all these up just takes a little bit of time, but thank you very much for taking time out of your day to do this for us. Now, we always dive in with the most simple question for everybody to answer. Firstly, is what is your role at Rockfish Games? As we've mentioned, it's a senior programmer, and what does that entail?
Yeah, it can be very different what a senior programmer does at Rockfish, of course. But when I started 7 years ago, in 2018, the foundation for EVERSPACE 2 was made, and we needed more, or they at this point needed more manpower, and it was you could see that you needed a lot of UI for that game, all the item management that was done later, and so at that time they asked me if I could start with helping with the item management, and then I picked that part up, and that's mostly UI, UI and UX work, the item management and inventory management screens, and never left that small section or department. I wasn't or I'm not the only one doing UI for EVERSPACE, by the way, because there's the HUD that's I did nothing of the HUD, no implementation. And other things of the UI as well. So, but the inventory management or the in-game, most of the in-game screens, that's what I implemented. We have or we had an UI and UX artist back in the day designing the screens after the request of game design, and I'm the guy who's actually implementing them into the engine so that you can use use the screens. That's my role.
Cool. That's really interesting. I know obviously people think that programmers just do kind of one thing, but obviously you went in originally doing or planning to do something different, then you switched over to the UX UI implementation because it was a requirement. So speaking of kind of how you switched and what you've done kind of previously, what's your background that led you into the gaming industry? What was it that pushed you in that direction?
Yeah. First of all, I like to mention I was doing a lot of UI before, so it was kind of obvious that I could or should do it for EVERSPACE 2, and I also like to do it. So don't get me wrong, I wasn't pushed like someone has to do the job nobody wants to do. It wasn't that way. I chose it, and there was also need for it, so or demand. So that was a good fit, and I knew in advance before I came back. So in terms of background, yeah, I was I started or I studied at a University of Applied Sciences near Hamburg, and that was back in the day, like 20 years ago. There was a new course called Media Information Science. There was not this dry information science alone, but you had some design aspects and business and cutting some movies, and they marketed right. So I was hooked, and I applied there, and was able to start studying there, and realized that, or I realized before at school even, that I'm interested not just playing games, but to get to know how they are made, and so that's why I picked up the study there, and then part of this study is that you find a company where you can write your diploma thesis, and you do an internship. That was pretty common. It was not mandatory. You could do it like for theoretical topic maybe internally at the school, but it was very common to do that. So I looked around, where could I do that? There were, at that point in time, there were not many gaming companies in or near Hamburg. That changed a bit over the years after that. But at that time, that was pretty rare. So there was a bulletin board where every alumni or guy from the school that was listed, and there was also HCK or Hans Christian, the lead game designer of EVERSPACE and Galaxy on Fire back in the day from the Fishlabs era, and he did his internship for and his diploma thesis for a company called Schade. That was the company of Michael Schade and Christian Lohr. That's why it's called Schade Lohr. And so I applied there because he did his thesis was about implementing or creating a 3D mobile game for Java mobile phones. So it's a pre-smartphone era, pre-iPhone and everything. It's a long time ago. But that's how I. That was the first step, and then during my internship there, the Fishlabs was founded, and some of our friends are familiar with Fishlabs and the history. And Michael mentioned it a couple of times, of course, and Galaxy on Fire. That was the main title there, and I worked for that company until the very end, so to speak, even longer. We were always in talks, and I followed the work of the guys closely, and was very I was very glad that it worked out. The Kickstarter campaign for EVERSPACE 1, and we had a beer here and there, and chat with Michael, and then in 2018 it was time to rejoin, so to speak, and start a new adventure with the development of EVERSPACE 2.
Cool. I mean, we're very glad that you did make that decision and come back to the team, because I know I've sometimes prodded and poked you for certain suggestions about the UI, the UX through the development of EVERSPACE 2, and you're very receptive to all that kind of ideas and whether you can make it work or not. So we're very lucky.
Thank you. I always try. To be.
Yeah, we do try, and I think it's something that we do like to point out to the community, that we do get the feedback, we do get the ideas. If it's possible, then we'll try to implement something like that, or these guys do anyway. These are the magicians that make the magic happen for everything. But now moving on to one of the questions that I always think is sometimes difficult to answer, but in your role as a senior program, what has been, probably in EVERSPACE 2 terms, what has been the most challenging aspect that you've come across?
It depends a little bit. Just specifically the role as a senior programmer or UI in terms of EVERSPACE 2, technically. It was a huge challenge to have this seamless transition between gamepad and keyboard, and using one AI for multiple platforms. So you have the console UI. You're like 3-4 meters away from the TV. TV sizes vary, and then our core audience is PC probably. You know, we are hooked to a monitor.
Yeah,
just 30 centimeters away, and then using a mouse, and you can have like tooltips and overlays and everything, and have the whole keyboard for shortcuts, and everything is just a fingertip away. And this is a very different experience. And if you don't know what kind of game you make at the beginning, you know, where the team was trying to find the right, you know, the core loop and the right balance of like management and checking item stats, but first and foremost, it's an action game. You know, it's a shooter game, an action game, story-based game, and but also this deep experience of like, you know, checking the loadout, you know, and doing making all these builds, you know, like John and you demonstrated. You can get really deep into this itemization game, and the UI needs to support that, and that's an incredible difficult challenge, because game design also is continuously changing the rules, you know. And just an example, we had the crafting inventory, you know. It was at the beginning we had all the items were just in one inventory, and then the obvious reason or obvious solution is just make it bigger, you know. You just make it bigger, and then you start to scroll. What may work on a with a mouse gets pretty tiresome on gamepad or pretty quickly, and then you don't want to scroll 20 rows with a gamepad and look through all the items. So there's a sweet spot, and we try to find it all the time, and then need to readjust. And and obviously the mouse players, they don't care about the gamepad. They just say integrate another hotkey. I have like 200 of them, and I say, yeah, well, but there's the gamepad. Nobody plays the game with gamepad. You know, just put it in there, and you can do that's the easy way. Just another, or maybe an exception or an addition. Just implementing a feature just for keyboard. That's a way, and we did that at some point. But you know that people are, you know, that don't want to say that the console players get a like. Or the PC players get a superior version of the game. You know, you wanna provide the same experience and the same convenience features as long as you can. And that's what I said during the whole development. I said, okay, let's find a solution. Let's try at least to find a solution for both platforms, for both audiences, and only if there's just no other way. Just, you know, put this extra feature on top, and then it's fine. But that was the most challenging part of the AS2 UI development.
I can imagine, and as you said, when keyboards have a plethora of keys and so many modifiers, when you try to condense that down to a controller which doesn't have many modifiers it can use, it's so difficult.
Exactly, and you can even there are many other solutions. For example, like having context menus, you know, or holding a button, and then there's like another overlay menu or radial menu maybe, and then you're using the stick for the HUD and everywhere. But it's very indirect, and even before I was joining the team, Hans Christian he set up the base. Inventory stuff and everything, and also the underlying data structure, etc. So he was always managing that one, by the way. But he said that his vision for it was that like you don't have to go through 10 menus to move an item. It should be instant, one action. And if you follow that way, you know, without many pop-ups and modal screens and context menus, this indirection, you know, a right click with a mouse that could work, but on gamepad it wouldn't feel right, you know, in an action game. We wanted that, and then you're just left with the basic buttons that the usual controller has, and then maybe a hold, and some or one or two modifiers here and there. But that's it.
No. Just to move on, and kind of a flip side to that previous question. Obviously, that was a difficult challenge to try and overcome, and I think we did it very well. But what would you consider is the most rewarding aspect of your role?
Yeah, it's obviously we are lucky living in that age. Not always, but you can follow people playing the game on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So, like 20 years ago, we're shipping a game. Maybe there were some reviews in magazines, but the feedback was more or less not there, or you couldn't. Maybe someone writing a letter or something.
Yes.
But now you can you have some streamers and or we have our Discord server and everything, and feedback from the team, comments on YouTube and everything. And when someone is mentioning a small feature, maybe like a convenience feature, oh, now they got another filter to filter or sort set items first or something like that. Or there's a star icon for favorites. That's what I wished for, Or if only I could like manage or moving items between ships now, This is something something that we do not promote like at every corner, because it's not like it's just a convenience feature. UI is always like second place. The game should be the action and everything, but you need UI. And if someone's like praising that or realizing that's in the game even, and then that's cool, or I haven't thought about that. That's very rewarding. Yes.
I had
get to know about it.
I had to chuckle a little bit there, because I know we've had the discussions about the favorites and the transfer of items between ships and everything over time. And like I say, that's my role. If I get the feedback in, I do send it across to the guys, and there'll be discussions whether I'm involved with it or not, whether it's something that's feasible or how much time could be spent on it. And I know Tease is a bit of a wizard, because sometimes like, oh yeah, I've done that, and you're like, whoa, that was quick, which is really cool. So always with our projects, if you have feedback, then please do send it in to us, because we want to hear it, and we're very
always
receptive.
glad to hear it. Yes, of course,
absolutely,
of course.
Right,
and that's
I've got a question that's coming in from the community, and this one's from one of our long-term members called Kizor, and it kind of ties in with the previous questions, but I want to ask you, from a programming perspective, what were the most frustrating or problematic elements to overcome over the course of EVERSPACE 2, and what gives you the most satisfaction or sense of accomplishment once you've implemented it?
Yeah, frustrating maybe. It's also something maybe technical. Was that I mentioned it earlier when I talked about like two interfaces or two input methods, the gamepad and the mouse, and it was also my first Unreal project that I did. So, but when I talked to the guys that did the EVERSPACE 1, and they also they already primed me, okay, this could be a problem, this is very nerve-wracking sometimes, and it's called like focus handling. That means that just one element has the focus, or is the highlighted element you're navigating from to other elements in the UI. And let me put it this way, it's easy to mess up in Unreal, or it was at least back in the day. And if you do it on console, you can't control the game anymore, so you need to restart. So it's a big deal. Not so much on PC, because you have the mouse, you hover over a different element, you don't really realize it, or at least not in any case. And that's why it's sometimes hidden when you implement something, and then just someone is bugging you like weeks later. You know what? I used to navigate with my keyboard from this item, and now I can't see anything and it doesn't work. And then you realize, oh, it's this focus problem, this effing focus problem again. So you need to go in there and fix it. And from time to time you're getting smarter, you're gaining more experience, and you restructure it and try to find synergies for screens and everything and rules. And at the end of the day, you're a programmer, you need to set up it this way. But of course, every navigation that that's like unnecessary. You need to avoid that, you know. So you need to make exceptions from the rule to make it work as people expect it. So and the mouse user is expecting a different highlighting than a gamepad user, and every navigation step for a gamepad user is one too much. So if you try to manually optimize it, you need to build in workarounds there. And with every feature, with every change during like early access, you mess it up. It got messed up sometimes by other people or introducing new screens, and then you need to do it again. It's like a constant fixing of this whole chain. And that was the most frustrating thing. And the second part was like problematic. And I'd say that was also a huge challenge to have this inventory management, because the ongoing demand of features, you know, that you need to implement. For example, you know, you have a ship and it has a loadout or equipment and weapons and everything, so good, so fine. But then there are many attributes, you know, or that are totally random, like cargo bonus slot, for example. And then you buy a cargo unit, it has like an extra bonus, and it wouldn't fit. But now that you swap it for a unit that's just one slot bigger, it should fit. And then you need to recalculate the sizes of the units and everything. And it was it was a technical challenge, but also to keep track of all the wishes or features that came into the game. And sometimes you need to restructure or rewrite a whole part of the game because this one feature that game design wanted to have, or this one attribute wouldn't work. That was pretty challenging. Yes.
I can imagine. Like I say, I think you guys all across the team that create music, sound, visuals, UI, design, whatever, are just absolute wizards to me. And when you kind of peel back the curtain of difficulty that is actually there, because from a layman, from a normal gamer's kind of viewpoint, it just looks easy. But I think because you guys do the hard work and make it look like it's an easy thing, but obviously there's many layers of difficulty to go through.
I'm amazed as well, you know, because I have nothing to do with all the effects that are going on in game, and all the weapon and you know, perks and states, passive or active, that the player could have, and the enemies and everything is working. And our most dedicated fans are like doing these runs, you know, rift runs, and using all these side effects and dependencies of all these attributes of the items, and it's mind-boggling. I don't understand it as well, how it could even work, you know. And exactly. Once in a while there's a bug, okay, but I wouldn't even realize it. But it's crazy.
It very is. It is.
I have a lot of respect of all the other team members, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, going back to kind of what you said earlier, previously you obviously worked for Michael and Christian and Fish Labs, etc. What games did you actually work on, maybe extraneous to Galaxy on Fire, etc.? To make that clear, I wasn't really working on Galaxy on Fire. I did a ship design. Okay. Basically, that was funny. We had Hans Christian back in the day. He decided that everyone should do a ship design. It was a nice idea, and our designers back in the day, they as 3D artists, they set up like a module. You could like build from some modules, like exhaust and nose and wings, and build your ship in 3D Studio Max, and it was fun. Everyone contributed to the game with his own ship. That was fine, but and I did some play testing, of course, because Hans Christian was sitting next to me. But back in the day, there was just one programmer per game. Really? One developer. You were like the developer was like the lead programmer and the lead designer. And that's what made me the lead programmer and designer of Rally Master Pro. There was a rally game
like the mobile version or maybe spiritual or inspired version of like this Colin McRae or later board games like from Codemasters. You know, I like to play that, and Michael's already a big fan of cars and stuff, and ever since. And someone came up with the idea. I don't know who it was exactly, but was sure we wanted to make a rally game, and we had even made a rally game before, a smaller one. But then, we wanted to do a little bit bigger one, and I was the one responsible for that. And that was, it got some fairly good reviews. I think the original version was released on Java 2008.
Okay.
And we ported it later to iPhone, maybe one or 1.5 years later. But the reception of the Java version was pretty good.
Cool,
maybe also due to the graphics, because it was pretty rare to have 3D graphics, that smooth on Java devices. Real 3D, not just fake, like there's a plane, behind it. And it was that was cool, and that was really fun working on it. And we tweaked our physics, car physics engine. I didn't write it myself, but I just together with our lead engineer back in the day, tweaked it a little bit, so it was more elaborate than the ones we used for the other racing games we did there. And that was fun. That was the best thing. And then I also did a lot of, like, we had this to also finance all our other games, like Galaxy on Fire, our own titles. We need to do some work for hire jobs, and that was we did some Volkswagen games and racing games. And since I did the last, almost our last racing game with Rally Master Pro, I was the one who was picked. It was just a second decision, but it was also fun. There was very short development cycles, and I never stopped to help support our own titles.
It's funny because I looked up the rally game actually, and the first thing I thought was that does look like Colin McRae Rally back in the day. So you can see the inspiration. I was very impressed with it, to be fair, when I saw it. And that's a nice, cool background into if anybody in the stream or does watch this VOD back later. And then I remember that game. Well, now you know it was Tease that was the lead programmer on that one. So you got him to thank if you spent many hours playing that game, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, I didn't program the engine, but there was a site. It just got a handful of reviews, but there was a big European outlet magazine or online site that called Air Gamer back in the day, and they also tested like Nintendo DS games and PSP, and I think they were just, and then Rally Master Pro received a 10. It was even one score higher than Galaxy on Fire too, and it was a 10, and there was like Tetris, Zelda, and I don't know, one other game who received a 10, and I was pretty proud. But they maybe later on they after years they like, I don't know, they went through all the 10s and wrote an article. And then I said, maybe we're a little bit blinded by the graphics back in the day. So it was not that revolutionary from a game design standpoint, probably, but the team liked it as well. I loved it, and it was also commercially fairly successful.
Excellent. No, that's good. I think you take the wins where you can, so we'll just say it was always a 10 out of 10 game. We won't worry about the review that they did later.
Of course, exactly. I stick to the 10.
Right, I'm going to switch over to another community question kind of here, and it's dealing with kind of bugs again, and this one's from Maligos over on our Discord. He's just wondering, is there any bugs that the devs kept and turned into a feature within the game? I know sometimes I know we've mentioned about the glowing effect that we've had around the ships that were then turned into a kind of part of the supporter pack, but can you think of anything else that we had similar to that?
Not really a classical situation of a bug that turned into a feature. There were some situations during my whole career, but in terms of EVERSPACE 2, I'm pretty sure the guys had like many, you know, especially when you're doing like maybe AI, NPC behaviors and trying weapons, you know, that you may have heard over the course of the other interviews, or who knows. But no, I just but I asked myself, and what came into mind was just one situation where I also mentioned that earlier. I think that the cargo space and the prototype version, or the Kickstarter version, was pretty sparse, and then you need to find a way to get rid of all the cargo, you know, reduce it or make the cargo size bigger or something like that. And Hans Christian, he implemented at the very start, there was an inventory, a small debug inventory called eject, and you could like kick out items, you know, to get rid of them and make space in the cargo. And it wasn't active. It wasn't shown. I think it never went live. Yeah, I think it was that way. And then I stumbled upon, while cleaning up the code, I saw the code of this inventory. I said, well, it's implemented, like moving something here into the screen. But how about like just putting it on the base, you know, your home base, or sending it to the home base. And now we have the feature sent to home base, but then I wasn't sure. I wasn't working too much with the code at that point, and I just had a quick, you know, what you do, you just try it out and quick test, and looked feasible. And then I asked Hans Christian, how about just this sending to home base feature, and we talked about law and everything, and I said, yeah, it's more or less it is done. I don't see the problem or drawbacks or the negative side of it. And then and he said, you know what, I thought about that. How about doing a perk? We need perks for Hive. Let's call it the autonomous cargo perk. And then that's how a feature was created. You know, that it was a necessity to get rid of it, and not exactly a bug, but it was a leftover. You know, a debug leftover in the game code, and this you know, like making an advantage of something that's already there, how you can reuse stuff, you know. Basically that's maybe similar to that.
That's really, really cool to
give you at least something, you know.
To see how it changes, you know. It's almost like we just recycled something into something of a feature, which is really, really cool. So a wonderful insight. Thanks for that. That's really, really cool. Another community question that we're going to go on with, and this one's from Percival over on our Discord as well. Were semi-persistent debris objects with or without physics akin to EVERSPACE 1's frigate remains ever tested within EVERSPACE 2?
I think it was tested. I'm not sure what was the reason why we did not fully implement it for all the big ships. But I'm pretty sure that we did that, or the guys implemented it for Wrath of the Ancients, the Ocker Corvette, or Ocker frigate. It was the Ocker frigate. That they implemented it for that ship. But it might be some feature that due to time constraints, as always, you know, something has the priority and needs to be done, and that's probably why we didn't do it.
Another question, I don't know how you can answer this one, because I know you've not necessarily been involved in it, but it's a question from Crimson Came, again from Discord. EVERSPACE 2 has no multiplayer because it was too challenging to introduce. As a senior programmer, could you go into detail what these challenges are, if you can?
As you said, I never worked on a did some light multiplayer stuff over the years, but not for this like a real-time, you know, fast real-time action game doing multiplayer. And these days it's using tools like Unreal and with more elaborate, you know, it maybe sounds easy, but what everyone was saying when you talk to people that did multiplayer before, custom engine or even Unreal, to really ship it, not just doing some prototypes, but to have a game of that complexity, you would need to structure it completely different. The whole management of the data, if there's a second player or even more, the technical the challenges that you face are much bigger, and a game that's done basically, you would have to would need to be sense financially to rewrite the game just to integrate co-op or a multiplayer or something. Not talking about the design questions that need to be answered, what is a second player or 5 more players, what they are doing, what happens if you play the story and all the systems that you created that like single player only, you need to read or touch them, rewrite them and everything. And that I think that was just too much for the game, for EVERSPACE 2. And
I think it's kind of
that's what I can say about it.
I think it's something that we've talked about with the community, because we've had many requests over the years about, this would be great with co-op or multiplayer. It was never a case of
I love co-op.
A lot of players a lot of team members do. It's just literally the case of implementing it after we've designed as a single player was never going to be financially doable, because as T said there, it's a case of we have to rewrite so much code, so many aspects from the design, the technological side of it as well, just trying to implement it. It's just been way too much. But it would have been nice to have, but financially and time wise, it just never fitted. But,
of course, and just to add one thing is that it's natural that people have these demands or wish that something like that could happen, because they see it every time in other projects, But the situation is just totally different for every project.
Another question from the community, I think it's the last one we've got, and then a couple of more kind of normal questions, but this one's from Kizor again. He's just wondering, are there any kind of bloopers or hilarious bugs that didn't make it to early access that we were kind of able to share at all? He's kind of references Jackie Chan movie credits reel at the end. We've all seen them.
I know.
I don't know if you can think of any.
Yeah. Again, regarding EVERSPACE 2, UI-related stuff, not really, I think, because the worst thing that could happen is just you link the wrong asset, and then instead of a tooltip, there's just a menu background, that you move around with, or something like that. But nobody will see it because you immediately fix it, and it's obvious then. So nothing in that regard. But in terms of the whole game, I have to mention the dancing capital ships once in a while. So we had a lot of fun, and people, or when we have had our internal play tests, there were usually a video of was it a Ravager or one of these bigger ships. Like doing some flips and saltos and like a prima ballerina.
Yeah, exactly.
As X would put it, and then it was hilarious to that point where we thought that it might happen a little bit too often. I hope it's fixed in the final bit. I'm not sure. It may. There may be possibilities that it could still happen. I hope not, but that's game dev, and if it's not like a cyberpunk first day situation where everything is just going nuts, and sideways, then I think it's something to laugh about. Yeah,
cool.
But that was one of these moments. It's reoccurring.
I think they are kind of hilarious at the same time. You know, it's like that shouldn't happen, but when you see it happen, you think, "Wow, that's impressive!" And literally just spiral. And we've had some great screenshots from those kind of elements as well. So the community have sent some brilliant ones in, and some very artistic ones as well, which we're always thankful of as well. Love it.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, we've kind of covered your role and what you kind of focus on. But overall, in your time that you spent working at Rockfish, what can you pin down anything that you think is the best thing about working here? I ask this to everybody, so it's it's nice to get everybody's viewpoint.
So you need to ask that. You need to ask that, and that's why you know that I need to answer. It's the team because I like everyone. Even though I hate them. You know, no, I don't. Of course not. No, but it really is the team. And like 5 years ago, I did a talk or Michael asked me. He was busy and do a talk like an alumni talk for the university I studied. I mentioned earlier, and I prepared some slides and I find that analogy that I still think is quite fitting, that bigger companies or bigger gaming, let's stick to gaming. I have no idea about other companies who worked there, but or in other industries. And it's the analogy of a rock band and an orchestra. And like bigger companies, when the guys made EVERSPACE 1 and I was still working for Fish Labs or Deep Silver Fish Labs. You know, they were bought by other companies, and there was like a parent company, or Deep Silver was a publisher, like a subdivision of the parent company, Koch Media. And you get to know all these layers, you know, that you can have in companies, that companies need to have to function at a certain size. That's normal, but smaller companies have the advantage of like shifting priorities, roadmaps, like being more agile, you know, and getting the best out of that. And most of the time when I worked at Fish Labs with the guys, we had there as well is the feeling that your voice is heard, that you have influence to the final product, and then that you can contribute, you know, with your passion, with your skills to the game, and really bring a feature or part of the game to life. And that's really great. I probably couldn't work without it. I don't know if I ever will try it, but as long as it works, and that's really great. And that's also part why the atmosphere is like it is, you know. The home office part after the pandemic, it changed a little bit, of course, but it's still there. We're still meeting in the office and returning to a more normal form, but we have all the other advantages. But a second thing that comes to mind is, and you need to mention it, is that Michael is extremely open about all the call it roadmap or the future steps, you know, the company will take. I think Lee already talked about it maybe when in his interview a couple of weeks ago, that you know, you need to make a roadmap. You need to think about what's in 3 years, 5 years from now, maybe, you know, if you're the CEO of a company. But it's not usual that you like share it with like everyone in the company, even though you're maybe just a programmer or just an artist, you know, doing your like focused stuff. But he's doing that, and we have get-togethers in the office, and he's like providing the plan and what he thinks should make sense, and everyone can say his opinion or can disagree. And he will try to adapt if there's like too many people complaining or raising concerns or something like that. And he's not like, you know, like, okay, what should I do? It's the opposite. But he's like really deriving conclusions from the feedback. What a good CA should do, you know, so that that's not ignored, and that nobody can say I knew this would happen, you know, that's bad, but I couldn't speak up or I wasn't heard, and it's also a very good feeling if you have the feeling that that's it's valued, that your feedback is valued, and that you were heard. So if you think you can make a change if something goes sideways, and that it works, yes.
Cool.
That's Rockfish.
Yeah, exactly. And I
the
think
Rockfish way of doing it, at least. I guess.
But top to bottom, starting with Michael and Christian, all the way down to the team, everybody's very receptive to ideas and comments. And I get comments from people like Tease who'll say something about the community or streams, etc. And I'm very receptive to hearing what he's got to say, because I know Tease does like to watch the streams when he can, either on the VODs. And if I say anything wrong, he will tell me, which is good, because I like to get things right. So, but yeah, I think it's all good.
Talking, just wanted to mention, since you said I like to watch the streams. As of now, I won't be most likely I won't be able to make it to the stream that this interview is shown. My apologies. I would have really like to join you, but but just I mentioned it here that
it's cool.
Everybody knows.
But if you do have any questions for Tease, if he's not joining us, well, we're recording this interview, and when we show it on live, if you've got any follow-up questions, then do send them my way. Hit me up on the Discord or send me a DM, whatever, and I'll pass them along to Tease, and he'll try and answer whatever he can if you do have any follow-up questions.
Of course.
Now, a couple more questions just to finish things off, and it is always I find the really interesting ones, because we've got you as a dev, the job that you do and everything, but we're all gamers. I think everybody on the team plays games in some shape or form, and we're all very, very different. But Tease, I've got to ask you, what games do you enjoy playing? We all want to know.
I don't play games. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I love it.
Maybe it's just maybe Christian. He's the only one who's or stopped playing games because of other duties.
Yes.
Here and there, but I even though I have a couple of kids, I try to game as much as I can or with them, and I like Nintendo games. I grew up with a Game Boy. I'm 80s kid, so to speak, and I had the Game Boy and Super Mario or any platformer, the Zelda series, Metroid, the big Nintendo IPs. I really like them. The newer installments, Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, or the game I finished recently was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Okay.
Some of you may have heard, it's like a Nintendo exclusive, of course, not the PC audience game, but it's not just that. I also like story-based or RPG games, or be it Horizon, God of War, The Last of Us, Resident Evil, probably one of my most favorite games, Resident Evil 4, or the whole series, basically the whole IP. Played a lot of these Resident Evil games. And puzzle games in general. I like puzzles. I like our puzzles. Shout out to Tony and Marv. I be an outlier there, maybe. I don't know. But I really liked it. I completed the game and put 150 hours on PlayStation 5 and played all our content. And I like the puzzles, and that's why games like The Witness or Portal or Talos Principle, these games, 3D puzzle games, I like them a lot.
Cool.
That's my, or these are my main genres, but
It's in terms of kind of any multiplayer games, is there anything that you like in that genre?
Yeah, one of my best friends, he's like a FIFA nerd. At one point in time, he stopped playing everything else and just playing FIFA. And he was like, like a guy running from door to door with his PlayStation back in the day. Let's have a co-op session. Let's have a co-op session. And I was hooked, and we played. Nowadays, not that much, but there are other reasons. But played a lot of FIFA co-op matches, I have to say. And Overcooked Also great couch co-op games in general. You know, if there's a great couch co-op game, then I'm in. It Takes Two. Currently just started Split Fiction.
Yeah.
With Hans Christian, also great.
Cool.
I like these games, yes.
Yeah. Now I'm going to kind of mention one of the notes that I always kind of write up and teasers put some notes in here. And there's one part of this question that I'm really intrigued about. When you were at Fish Labs, you used to play a tournament in your lunch breaks. I love that.
Yeah, and our lunch breaks. Yeah, legendary lunch breaks at Fish Labs HQ. That was the name of the map. Because even back in the day when we had our own engine, our custom engine, and nothing to do with console games or Unreal or something, we played Unreal Tournament, the 2004 version, during lunch breaks. I loved Unreal Tournament from the first installment and played it with friends at school and in the 90s. And then there was the newer one, and we realized everyone likes to have a great death match or capture the flag match, and we started playing it. I don't know who came up with it. Maybe it was me, and there was also Quake 3 around, Quake 3 Arena. But somehow for most part we did this domination mode or capture the flag, and we had our 4 or 5 favorite maps. And then there was one day, and I wasn't in the office. I think I was sick. And Mike and Christian, there was a, I don't know, convention or something. They weren't in the office, and I don't know. And there was at that part there was nothing to do, and someone started a map in his spare time and brought it up to the office, and it was like a miniature version of our actual office we were sitting. And turns out it was a great map to play this domination. So we put these 2 domination points in, and then our graphic artists just like nowadays we would say photogrammetry, but it was just making photos of the whole shelf, you know, and put it in, you know. But it looked fairly nice, I have to say. And it turns out it was fun. It was as fun as maybe we were biased, you know, because the fact that you're playing in the same office you're sitting was crazy. But it was like the player character model was, I think, was a miniature version, because the desk was like 3 or 4 times higher. So you needed a jump pad to get off the desk, like a gremlin, you know, if these guys know that size of a gremlin. So everything looked a little bit oversized. But it was great. And we had a lot of fun back in the day. Yes.
I can imagine running around your own office. I think we're going to have to try and create a level for the office of Rockfish Games now. That'd be really, really cool. To be running around in there.
We had the idea, but never found the time to do it.
Excellent. Now, our final question, still on games, and this one's a bit of a toughie, but I need to ask you, if you could have worked on one game yourself that's out there, that's ever been released, what would it have been?
As I said, I'm kind of a Nintendo fanboy, and maybe obvious that I could randomly pick any Super Mario or a Zelda game, maybe Super Mario World or A Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo, because they back in the day they blew my mind. It was so the 16-bit graphics together with the gameplay. It was I want to have it, I want to play it. Feeling was never that big again, but. Over time, when you read some postmortems or dev stories about titles and reflect, I have to say that Resident Evil 4, I already mentioned that I liked it, is one of my most favorite games. When that came out on GameCube, it was like the best looking game. I think Half-Life was a little bit later, or at least was also groundbreaking, but I didn't play it at that point. But it was critically acclaimed. It was got great reviews, and it was from another world. And I read this interview, and people said that it was an exception. It should have never been released because there was the development time was fairly short. It was just not even 2 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
For today's standards, it's insane because they had the formula, you know, fixed camera angles from Resident Evil 1 to 3, and then they switched the whole gameplay, a new engine, everything that you try to avoid when you plan to make a success in a short amount of time, that you change everything, the graphics, the gameplay, and it was a triumph, you know, until today. Even this camera perspective over the shoulder was used for years, prominently in Gears of War and games like that. But so it must be when these things, to make these things, I'm pretty sure that you need to have a strong team atmosphere of people that really like to work together and they have the skills to work together. So not sure if I would have been. It's like theoretical, you know, be the one to fit with my skills. Not sure, but of course, inventory management. It was there, you know, to fit your green herbs and everything.
Yes,
they had it. So even check on this that regard. No, that was one game, and I don't know what was the other one. Maybe Portal, because when Portal came out, it's more like the indie side, because Resident Evil was like a AAA smaller team, but back in the day, AAA development project, but. Portal, when that came out, that was mind blowing, and then I heard it was just was a small team, and then I think Valve they hired the Portal team, and then later on they staffed up to do the second part. But the first one, it was crazy to think that nobody can, you know, you had like even 2009, so it must be like 20 years of 3D shooters. Since Doom, or at least 15 years since Quake, and nobody thought about like a genius idea to you know, to mix things up in this first person shooter. It isn't a shooter, but in this genre, and to have this ingenious 3D puzzling game, and to play it, it was incredible. So it must have felt really nice to work on that game, and, you know, trying to come up with new ideas, and they cranked it up in the second part. It also had co-op with different I don't know, things to different goos, you know, jump goo and slide goo. Have you played it? I'm not sure. Did you play it, Gary?
Briefly, I've only played a little bit of it. But
it's a great game. But just guessing, I don't know if it was fun, but I could imagine that. Must have been fun to work with these guys.
Yeah, I think this is always the most interesting question that I ask anybody from the dev team, because everybody has their kind of favorite, and there's always a variety of reasons why. Yes, nobody can go back in that time and think, oh, that'd have been great to be part of, but it's just something always draws you to that one or two games that are just like, what a phenomenal idea, you know, whatever it is. But no, it's really, really, really cool to hear all your answers to all the questions, Tees, and it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and it's been a long time in planning, but we finally got there, and I hope everybody in the community has enjoyed it. So thanks very much for joining us, and I'm sure one day we'll have you back on, maybe in the future. We'll see what happens.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Yeah, who knows?
Cool. Right, with that, we're going to wrap things up, and I'm going to hand you back to myself, as we always do. It's been a pleasure, and there we go. What an absolute doozy of an interview. We can have a round of applause there for Tees. For all the devs that do take time out of their day to spend time talking to me. He's always very appreciated. And it's been a long time in planning with Tees, as is all the rest of them that we've got lined up. We've got several lined up for the coming months. If you are interested in having a question asked, because we are going to be pre-recording all these, just because it's more suited to availability rather than trying to get the devs on at like 7-8 p.m. On a Friday evening, which is never ideal time. If you do want to ask a question, I implore you to join our Discord. We have a little forum on there where you can specifically ask the questions to the devs that are coming up. So if you do want to get involved, then hit us up on there, because that's the best place to ask. So just because we're, like I said, we're doing the pre-records, and it's our best option. But what a great insight into the things that Tease loves, the struggles that he's had with the UI, the UX, and all the thinking behind it as well. And as we said in the interview as well, for laymen, like myself and some of you guys obviously as well, that everything looks so seamless and easy, but there's a lot of layers of complexity underneath which they have to kind of work through. But fair play to Tease. Thoroughly enjoyable interview, and I hope you did enjoy that too. But as I've said, we've got more coming up. Right, we are going to dive into our screenshots. As you know, every time that we have one of these streams, we always like to ask the team over at Rockfish Games who to pick their favorite of these screenshots. I picked them out. I picked 10 over the previous month that have been good, different, maybe new. Sometimes I just pick them because they're new creators of great screenshots, and as you know, we do have a wonderful screenshot creator built into the game. So here are our screenshots, and we're going to start off with this one from a new player called Emery over on Discord. Now, a lot of people do like this area because of the specific storyline. I think if you know the Parasite mission, you can certainly tell this environment, and I'm always a bit of a sucker for it because it's so atmospheric, and I really, really, really like how we've created this ominous atmosphere. And I think everybody as well that's played through that quest line, I think you love that too, and it's very, very cool. Yeah, it's a very, very nice one. Just as a follow-up in the questions, if you do have any follow-up, in the chat, if you do have any follow-up questions for Tease, do throw them into the chat from anything that you've seen. I'll send them across to Tease, and we'll see if we can get some answers from you on that score as well, because he did promise he would follow up if we have any other questions that need answering. But yeah, this is a wonderful shot from Emery from our Discord, and yeah, let's tick along to the next one. Again, another new player, another new creator of some wonderful screenshots, and this time it is from Blue Sky, which is where we are over on social media. So if we're everywhere obviously, but we are on Blue Sky, which is a wonderful new platform. Do hit us up on there if you are. And this was from Salace, with a nice picture of a Wraith ship, which is making its way through the under caverns of Gareth Refinery. I mean, such an iconic, glowing area. I think we've actually hit it out of the park, and we mention it every stream, and I'll mention it for every stream going forward, I'm sure, that our visuals are just absolutely stunning, and the environments that we create. So Tony and Marv and anybody else on the art team that come up with these kind of places are just phenomenal, and thoroughly worth investigating. I mean, you can spend hours just sat within the game, in screenshot mode, in photo mode, just looking around, because it is actually an amazing game, and I think we're very, very lucky. So this one is again from Salace over on Blue Sky. And as I mentioned earlier, we've got a bit of an oddity when it comes to the winner. It's something that's never happened before, and I'll talk about why when we get there. Next up, voted from the team is a shot from Steam, and I just love this one. Normally there's a bit of depth of field, and I'm a bit of a sucker for depth of field, real nice compose shots, but this doesn't, but it has a great depth to it. I think with just the rays of the star coming through, highlighting all the crevices and the nooks and crannies of this broken asteroid, and then only over here do you then realise that there's a nice little outlaw base, which is always fun. Just nestled away there, but the ship just making its way through. I mean, you will see probably some repetitive screenshots from time to time, but when people see the iconic shot, they're like, yep, I want to take a picture of that, and sometimes they go back, and we're very thankful that they do. And this one is a wonderful one from Requiem over on Steam, so top marks to them to bring this to the fore, and I'm sure I'll follow up with them as well, and keep an eye on other ones that they create, as I always do. Bearded Frog has just said, oh, of course, now that I stopped playing the DMZ lottery due to knowing it is rigged, the numbers I've used were the winning ones. So I see. That's why you shouldn't stop playing, Frog. Dear. So anyway, that is new to the stream. Welcome along anyway. Down below we do have the DMZ news, which is always the kind of fantastical make-believe bit of humor that we write for these, and then there is a nice little DMZ lottery that we run as well. No prizes for it, unfortunately. So there we go. Alex over on YouTube, how you doing? Hi guys and Rockfish, hope you're doing well and thanks for your hard work and also hard and awesome work. Thank you again. It's been such a cool stream where people have been like, yay, you know, thank you for creating it, and thank you for coming back and giving us the plaudits for the hard work that the team put in, and we're very thankful that you support us in every way that you have, whether it's coming to the streams, buying our products, telling people about our games, everything like that is just fantastic, and we're very, very thankful for all your help as well, keeping us in the forefront. Now this was a good picture, and I don't know if Zero Hazel is with us from our Discord, but they put this up, and I think it took them quite a while to get this shot actually lined up. As you can see, that there's 3 cruise missiles that are there fired off in roughly the same direction, all heading at a relatively fast speed, and there they are speeding past with their ship to try and get them all into the screenshot. And I think that this kind of work has to be applauded when you look at the time and the effort that people must put into actually creating these screenshots, you know, for a specific reason. And yeah, this one was just a case of they wanted to race the cruise missiles and see if they could beat them, and then they got a wonderful screenshot with some debris of a broken station in the background as they fired off 3 cruise missiles. You just really wouldn't want to get in the way of them cruise missiles and hit yourself, would you? Because that's gonna be a little bit painful. But a wonderful screenshot nonetheless. A little bit of depth of field in the background there. Yeah, you know, you can see the blurriness of the station behind. So yeah, top marks for that. Well done. Yeah, Bearded Frog says would have been neat if the missiles would have come from the center of their mines, but still very good. Yeah, you can see that would have been an interesting one, because I think that's actually it's a Vindicator, so I think he's left his drones behind. Literally left the drones behind, but I mean they're not far off. You know, not far off. So yeah. Now this one I'm glad I included, because it kind of got a midpoint in the terms of votes. But this is from Vogue over on Steam. Now I liked it simply because of its simplicity. I mean, when you look at it, you've got the primary green, blue, and red, and that's it. But they managed to fit it all in. Now I don't know if anybody in the design team intentionally did this, so that you literally had the red, green, and blue. For the primary colours, but it is so well done, and I couldn't actually remember where it is, so I might have to follow up with Vogue to find out where they took this screenshot. But I think it's wonderful just because of its simplicity. It doesn't have to be, you know, overly complex, and as I say, I like the depth of field, but I love the simplicity of this one, and the team did too. But you know, it was getting up there in 6th place. And then we've got another Vindicator. I do like this one, and I thought this was going to get higher. There's always a few that I'm like, this should vote higher, but again, I don't vote in these polls within the team. I just give them the choices, and they then make the choice from there. But you can see the Vindicator with the drones flying around. Such good contrast with the green contrails there, or the trails of the drones. But I specifically like the coloration. I do like the coloration of this Vindicator. It's a lot better than mine. But we blame Lee for that one. As you can see, with the red accents, but then the nice bright yellow engine trails as well, and then obviously they're in cruise with the nice bubble there, and you don't actually notice it really, but there's a nice little corona around that planet as well, which I think is very, very cool. But that one was from Kgorn over on Steam. A wonderful, wonderful shot. Now we're getting closer. We're getting closer. We're getting into 4th place now, and this one is from the Chemical Bro. He's done some wonderful, wonderful screenshots over the years for us, and this one is such a vibrant, colourful one that it was voted quite highly. Now it's a good example of the Alienware skin. that we gave away for free with a collaboration, obviously, with Alienware. Superb colours. If you've never seen it, I will try and show it in a future stream as well, because it is a nice looking skin for all your ships. And obviously the rainbow effects in the background, just superb. They're very, very good at composing a slightly different viewpoint on stuff. So this one got 4th place. So in 3rd place is another one from Zero Hazel over from our Discord. Now this one is Byron Gate with several drones, as you can see from behind there, as they're just looking at the rear of Byron Gate. They've got the full complement of the drones, but it looks like they've got a combat drone as well. Out and about, so they're a full ring of drones, but I think it's very good because it's slightly offset, so you got the ring of the drones and then you got the ring of the gate as well. And then obviously it looks like the eye there, which is actually kind of the obscured star, because there's a big rock way off in the distance that's just obscuring that, but it does look like the eye of almost like a storm, should we say. But yeah, very, very cool. I think it's very, very nicely done. Now, this is 2nd place, and this is again from a new player who's been spotted doing some great screenshots as well. And this one is from ISO 137-001 over on Steam. And it's a fantastic shot there with the Stinger heading into an outlaw base. Phenomenal, amazing picture. I was just kind of blown away with it again with the rays. Everything seems calm and placid and serene there down at the station as they're just about to swoop in and cause absolute mayhem. But phenomenal. Again, they've done some great accent work on their ship that kind of matches in with the environment, and that's very, very clever. If you have something in mind of where you're going to go and then you match the ship to it. Now, the interesting thing about this screenshot is that it only got 2nd place. However, the winner was this one by the same player. So this one is by ISO 137-001. Again, they got 1st and 2nd, so they took home the gold and the silver on this one. The team don't know the actual users. I keep them totally anonymized. I randomize them as well. But this one for definite took the win by a big margin. I think it doubled even their 2nd place picture. So it was amazingly well done to them. Now, if you had to do a design brief for a ship that says, right, match the ship colors, the coloration, the trails to the environment, you couldn't get better than that, because even though it's a stronger, more vibrant color on the engines and etc., that is a phenomenal match, and you can see why it was a worthy winner for this week. As I've said, Byron Gate, the different size of it, because the picture from earlier from Zero Hazel was obviously the far side of it, as you could see. We're looking at it from the kind of inner curve of the station and the gate. But that is a definite 10 out of 10. And you can see why it got the most votes from within the team. So, yeah, we just rocketed up through the options in terms of what the team liked, and blown away, absolutely blown away. Now, like I say, it was a bit of an odd one because they beat themselves. But I'm also, if you knew recently that back in August, which is only like a couple of weeks ago, we had the RFG day. Now, if you're on our Discord, you will have seen that some of the screenshots that we did, some of the pictures that we took, we were in the office. So every year, even ourselves, such as myself, Lee, Jeremy, and anybody else that's kind of a remote worker, is invited across to the offices to all get together and meet up. And we did that. about the 18th. No, sorry, about mid-August. So it was about the 14th to the 18th-ish. We were there. Spending a day and the weekend in Hamburg, meeting the rest of the team, always, having a good time. And I'm just going to share some of those pictures with you now. And here is one of those where we have members of the team. Just before we have a discussion, or we were taking a break, I think, in between having some discussions and presentations and etc. from within the team. So you'll see Hansi Card there, we've got Patrick, we've got Lee, we've got Jeremy, we've got Uwe and Andy, and a variety of others. We're all having a little conflab and a little discussion. So yeah, that's another one. And then we've got something very, very similar again. And this time was after our phenomenal barbecue that Christian had cooked. There it is on the barbie in the background. I think he was sitting down somewhere having some well-earned food. But yeah, we're all huddled having a discussion and a talk about things, maybe about things that we're not going to talk about yet, because before anybody should ask, we're not revealing that still. But yeah, I'm sure there's lots of discussions. So yeah, there's Uwe, Kevin, Gero just hiding behind Sven there. We've got Joseph, Malti, Torben, Casper, and then my favourite little avocado there of Jan. He was all very colour coordinated that day. We did love his outfit. So yeah, we're just having a little bit of a discussion again out in the sunshine after having some good food. And then here's some cheesy chaps. On a night at the weekend, we went to a festival that was in Hamburg. It was quite breezy and cold that night. You can see everybody's a little bit wrapped up. Michael's there rocking the Rockfish Games jacket, doing all the total promo stuff. And yeah, we were having a wonderful time at a music festival. And we all got to enjoy some beers and downtime and, away from work, which is always pleasurable and always nice to get together. And it's really cool. As T said, everybody gets on and we all have a real good time when we get together. Now, just as a reminder, we did have a poll that was running for the last week or so. And I asked you at the start, where would you like to put a base if you had the... We've all been tricked into looking at Gary's vacation slide. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Yeah, sorry about that. So I asked you earlier if you could put a base into any of these places. Top left is obviously Nefties. We've got Rhodia 2 in the top right. Bottom right is the Siren Sea, and then Pelemon's Wound there. So yeah, if you could. Where would you put your base? So if you didn't get involved in the poll, I'm asking you now, so do put it into chat. Where would you like to put your base if you could plonk one down? Would you like to be Nefties, Rhodia 2, Siren Sea, or Pelemon's Wound? This is all obviously just to in and around Ceto. Frog saying it's weird that the actual home base location is there. Yeah, some people might actually go, do you know what, I actually like that place, I'd rather be there. So it was an option, Options are good. Options are good. So yeah, do let me know, because we did run the poll, and here is one result over from our Reddit. Where would you set up the base? And yeah, you can see 52% of the vote over on there was Siren Sea, followed by Pelemon's Wound, then Nefties, and then Rhodia 2. Over on our YouTube channel, you guys are knocking it out of the park with the amount of votes that you do there. Siren Sea, 44%. Nefties with 27%. Pelemon's Wound, 19%. And then Rhodia 2 at the bottom again with 10%. And then finally, over on our Discord, we asked the same question. Siren Sea absolute stomped it there with 56%. Nefties and Pelemon's Wound were tied at 90%, and then Rhodia 2 just got the singular vote, which gave us 6% on there. But that is quite a phenomenal turnout for Siren Sea, which overall, there we go, there are the percentages. I'm sure somebody was going to ask. Nefties and Pelemon's overall from all the choices gave us 20.67%. Rhodia 2, nobody's like, nah, we've been there, done that, we're not going back there. It's like a holiday destination. If you've been there a few times, you don't want to go back. And then Siren Sea, absolutely stonkingly, nearly 51% for the win there. Yeah, Alex says Nefty's, yes, not the worst option. Yeah, cool. I mean, it's a wonderful scenery, isn't it? I mean, even if I just zoom into there, it's just a wonderful scenery. But yeah, it's Siren Sea. I think it was just the tranquility that made it work for a lot of people. Seven Nindo says, yeah, they prefer the planes too. See, there we go. Horses for courses, as they say. But that's always cool. That's always cool. Right. I'm going to quickly show you something from our community as well, which is always amazing. But unfortunately, I do have to have this muted because it's a wonderful video from Wizard Jerry. I'm just going to expand it. I'm just going to hit the play button just temporarily. What he's done is he's put together a video which is all around the ships of our game. So he's basically taken every ship, whatever it is, into 4K Lunacy riffs, and he has stonked his way through it. Wizard Jerry is a wizard for a reason. As T said, you know, we're quite amazed with what people do, the intricacies they go to in getting the synergies to work and really nailing down their technique. And Wizard Jerry has created this wonderful video. I'm going to put it into the chat so that you can all see it. Let me just get the link. I can't play the audio, unfortunately, because it's got some copyrighted stuff on it, so I don't want to do that. So if you haven't seen it, do check out this video from Wizard Jerry. He does go through a whole plethora of working through the introduction about how his ship is done, even the paintwork that he uses and the various types that he goes for and the inspiration behind it. Then he even goes through the times. He actually times every single run for the best option. So he's got the bomber, he's got the sentinel, the stinger, gunship, the wraith, the striker, the vanguard, the vindicator, the scout, and the interceptor. And then he even does a wonderful conclusion right at the end where he will grade the ships. And literally the interceptors, he's got him at S tier. As you can see there, do go check it out. It's a wonderful piece of work, and we're thoroughly appreciative of Jerry taking his time to do this, because we think it's an amazing thing. Not only refining his talent, but then creating a video around our game. So if you haven't already seen it, go check it out. It's worthy of being basically put in awe, because I will never be as good as that. But hey, you know, I can only practice, can't we? We can only practice. Right. We're ticking on with time. I just want to go through some things just to wrap up before we end, because we're over time, but we're always good with this. So the next dev interview we do have lined up for our next stream, and that's going to be with Malty, our senior 3D artist. So if you've got questions, get into the Discord. We're going to be doing a recording probably early October for that one. So if you've got questions about 3D art, the art within EVERSPACE 2, then do join our Discord and get the questions in there onto that forum. Now, we always do the streams on the first Friday of every month. Okay. However, in October, we are going to be pushing that back a week. So our next stream is going to be the 10th of October. I've changed the event over on our Discord, but it is going to be the 10th of October because I'm going to be in zombie mode, unfortunately, the week that we would have been planned, and I don't really want to be falling asleep at my desk while I'm trying to do a stream. Now, the reason for that is that we're going to be at Tokyo Game Show. So myself, Lee, and Jeremy are all going to be attending from the 25th to the 28th of September. And then, because I've never been to Japan, and I'm really looking forward to it, so I can't wait to go, I'm going to spend a couple of extra days in Japan with Lee and Jeremy, because Jeremy lives in Tokyo, so we're going to be spending some time out there. And yeah, I'm going to be having a couple of days that week, so I didn't want to come back and be a total zombie because it's a long flight. I think my travel time for that day is about 20 hours or something like that from leaving my home to landing as well. But yeah, find us at the German Pavilion if you're at the show, on the Tokyo Game Show. We're looking forward to seeing as many of our Japanese fans and worldwide fans as well. We all have a wonderful game to show off to you called EVERSPACE 2. Yeah, so you might want to drop by, have a little chat and everything. What else have we got as well? Oh, yes. Some people have been asking this for a while. Oh, yes, you have. You've been asking about having these official soundtracks on the streaming music services, and that is now available. Yes, if you're on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, or Amazon, you can find us there. So you can stream our official soundtracks on there. An absolute doozy. So if you're out walking, if you're out running, doing exercise, working, whatever it is, and you just got it, get it streamed to your earlobes direct through those services. Sales. We've got some sales on good old games. EVERSPACE 2 and EVERSPACE 1. We've got huge, massive discounts across the board. So dive in there if you're interested. Very much so. PlayStation, we've got a sale on EVERSPACE 1 and its DLC. If you've never played EVERSPACE 1, maybe it's good. Maybe it's time to dive in. We will be having a look on that as well. So let's go and check that out. I'll maybe dive back into EVERSPACE 1 at some point. And also on Xbox, EVERSPACE 2 has got 70% off the base game and 20% off the Galactic Edition. And there's, even if you like EVERSPACE 1 on Xbox, there's 80% off on there as well. So do go take a look. Oh, so yeah. Oh, there we go. Alex is saying, thanks for notifying about the official soundtracks. Yep, it's what people have been asking for a while, and we've made it happen. Sometimes it just takes a little time to get those things all wrapped up. So I think that is it. Thanks again to Tease for taking time out for his of his day to do that interview. And again, remember, something that I'm always very thankful for is a lot of the team are kind of doing these interviews in English, which isn't their native language, and they're superb at it, absolutely superb. And I'm very, very thankful for them because my German is terrible. So that's going to be cool to have more of those come in. And remember, join us on our Discord for the next interview, which will be on the 10th of October, which will be the day of the stream. So we're going to get out of here. We're going to get prepped for more awesome stuff. Tokyo Game Show and everywhere else. And yeah, let's hopefully have a good weekend. We'll see you on the Discord, on the forums, everywhere else. And yeah. Alex, just before we go, Boo, may I ask you about my question earlier in chat? Was there a question? Sorry, I wasn't keeping up with the questions. Let me just have a look, see if I can roll back. Let's have a look. Just asking to consider an option to unlock FPS from 60 limit to 128 containers to future hardware if it's possible. It'll definitely have to have a look at whether it's something feasible. I don't actually know. Further down the line, the technical team would have to look at something like that as an option. But yeah, definitely. Anyway, let's get out of here. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Be happy. Enjoy your gaming, whatever you're up to. And yeah, let's get out of here. Let's play the trailer, and we'll see you again next week. Take care, folks. Bye now.
You have been granted passage among our stars.
This is a sacred service. Join our fleet's torchbearers.
It is the human who defiles our pilgrimage.
No one has ever ventured this far.
If the ancients turned their eye back to us, well, what could a beetle do against a hurricane?
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Are you about to do something unwise?
Absolutely.
What have you done to me?